All right, all right. Phenomenal morning, phenomenal morning, phenomenal morning. Had to remove the loop, guys. Had to remove the loop, right? It's early for me, like it's early for you. Bobby Jackson, how you feeling this morning, brother? Phenomenal morning.
Whew, I'm feeling incredible, phenomenal. I was reading last night, and I feel like this one phrase is going to be one that we might be able to use throughout today's call potentially. But the phrase that I read last night, oh my goodness, it said, you can't talk your way out of situations you've behaved yourself into.
Ooh.
Oh, I loved it.
Wow.
I loved it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You trying to come for their head early, bro. You can't talk your way out of situations that you behave yourself into. Ooh, that's crucial. Super crucial, super crucial, super crucial. Okay, guys. So let me just preface this, right? I got three topics, and we're going to sew in what Bobby just said. You can't talk your way out of situations that you behave yourself into. I got a question over the weekend. You know, we went live Breakfast with the Brand on Saturday, and somebody hit me a little bit later and said, Shaan, what is a PBO? Because, you know, we start off with the leaders, the CEOs, and the PBOs. And they were like, Shaan, what is a PBO? A PBO is a professional business owner. Professional business owner. And I want to extend that a little bit, kind of flesh that out, because if you're on the job market right now, the business that you own is you. The company that you're a CEO of is you. And you are a leader. I just wanted to get that out there, right? I just wanted to put that out there and let everybody know, like, we talk about professional business owners. You are a professional business. If you so choose to be. The government treats you like a business. Why shouldn't you? They tax you like a business. Why shouldn't you? Treat yourself as one and see yourself as one. The business that you are a CEO of is you. And you are a leader. And that's why you can't talk your way out of situations that you behave yourself into. Okay, so the three topics that we're going to start off, well, I'm going to start off with one. Let me just start off with one. Before you run somewhere, hold on. Here we go. There's as much value out there as there is in you. So a lot of people tell me, you know, Shaan, the gap is this. The gap is there's no clients. There's no revenue. It's a depression or a recession. And let me tell you something. There's always people that do phenomenally in business while other people, the citizenry, are experiencing a depression or a recession. So I just want to assure you, there is no shortage of abundance. There is no shortage of, there never has been a shortage of abundance. What there is shortage of value or shortage of the ability to translate value. As a professional business owner, as the CEO of the company, which is your transaction is value for revenue, value for profits, value for money. So there's never a shortage of money. There's never a shortage of abundance. There's never a shortage of profit potentiality. What there ever is, no excuses hold here, not in this forum. The only thing that there ever is a shortage of value creation or value translation. All right. So we're going to start off with that. I want you to think about that, and we're going to come right back to flesh it out a little bit more. Let's grow. It's very important that you know yourself to the highest degree possible, because it's through knowing ourselves that we're able to know other people. You are the most important person in the room, and the better that you know yourself, the better that you're able to communicate to others. So you're not only playing the game knowing who you are, but you're also playing the game knowing who everyone else is, so that you're not playing blind.
He's extremely engaging with people. He has a fantastic smile, and he's just very high energy person.
This is called leadership development. So we have to be independently knowledgeable and considerate to know who we are so we can more effectively know who other people are. As the leader, it's your responsibility to allocate resources in the right places. If you don't know how to communicate effectively, you're losing the battle. I said Shaan right east. I'm proud. I said Shaan right east. Leadership is not the brand they made for us.
Listen, he brought fire, heat. He didn't hold back.
20 years down the line, what I could sell, why not serve first? Service over salary. Branding like a leader closes the gap for people who want branding. Speaking like a leader closes the gap for people who are nervous about speaking. If Steve Jobs would have speculated, we wouldn't have Apple.
He changed lives. He helped people open up their business and start their business.
We are the brand. Some people say, Shaan, should I quit my job? Mentally, yes.
As a speaker too, to be able to learn from him and watch him and game respects game. And I want to have that much game someday.
The right client, pay $500,000 for what you do. You have to be bold in your beliefs.
He has been an amazing asset to this event and a pleasure to work with. Very captivating, collaborative, worked very well with the audience.
I want to help you. Put a 0 behind your number, right?
The session was great. How he is online, virtually, he is even more phenomenal in person.
Be the face of change that you want to see. Stop asking questions and start giving demands.
The entire team has just been absolutely incredible. They are a joy to work with. They go above and beyond.
Give yourself a round of applause. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. So this Monday morning, right? What is this? The day before what they call Hallows Eve, right? The day before what they call Hallow Eves. I hope everybody was safe over the weekend. Sometimes they let the ghouls out, the Goonies out, or whatever the case may be, right? Protect yourself, be safe at all times. There is as much opportunity. There is as much abundance. There is as much revenue, profitability, phenomenal clientele as there is value in you. Go ahead, open up, Bobby. What are your thoughts on that topic?
Man, this took me back. It took me back to the beginning, if you will. So I was reading a book called How the World Works, Mathematics. And this book talks about numbers, where numbers came from, math, and how math existed. And where I want to go with this is we can take things for granted that we can underappreciate things that we didn't put the work in to develop, so to speak. So we didn't put in the work to develop numbers, so we don't necessarily appreciate numbers. But when we think about value and we think about numbers, they're almost inseparable. So what I want to do is I want to kind of tie this loop in together to let you guys know like where numbers actually came from and why the statement that has been made this morning is so profound. It's extremely profound. One philosopher said, I don't know if God made numbers or if men did, but whoever did it for their own good. And that was kind of like the philosopher's idea. And he was pretty much saying like, I don't know where these numbers came from, but they're good for us. So let's use them. So with value, what's interesting about value is that value is numbers and money and like numeric representation is only needed when you're trying to possess something. So before we had a numerical system like we have today, we had a counting system. Now, counting and value representation are two different things. I'm going somewhere with this. I really want you to see the abundance. So abundance starts to disappear when we start thinking of possession. But abundance is infinite when we think about possibilities. So sometimes what happens is we get so far away from first principles, such as what is value, that we don't know what we're doing. So to not lose you, I'm gonna make it super, super plain. Value creation, value translation, and value capture. Most people try to capture value. And if you capture value, you are trying to get the revenue, the profitability. But if you fail to create the value and you fail to translate the value, you can't capture the value. So when you remove the numerical counting aspect and you stop saying, I need $20,000, you stop saying, I need $100,000, and you start saying, I need to create $100,000 worth of value, then you can do the next thing. You can start translating that value to the marketplace. And then once you translate that value to the marketplace, you can then capture the value. So my thought process, and I'm a financier from the finance side of the house, was how many business owners, professional business owners out there do not know how to create value effectively because they're too busy trying to capture the value that they failed to create. And I know that's a bit abstract, but that was my piece. That was my piece.
Woo, how many people are out there trying to capture the value that they failed to create? Unbelievable. Listen, guys, I hope you caught that, right? I know it's Monday morning. I know it's still early. We still in the first 15 minutes. Are you failing to create that which you're failing to capture? And if you're failing to capture it, it might be the fact that you're failing to create it. This works on your job. And I guarantee you, because I was there at one point, right? I was there like, man, I need to go from 30 to 40. I need to go from 40 to 80. And I did. But I didn't do it until I doubled the value in me. See, you're trying to double your salary. You're trying to change your speaking fee from 5K to 10K. There's nothing wrong with being a 5K speaker. Before you go from a 5K speaker to a 10K speaker, you got to go from 5K value to 10K value. I tell people all the time, because I have a lot of people come to me like, Shaan, I need to build the brand. And I'm like, okay, let me find out what I'm working with. There's like an investigative process where I'm trying to find out who I'm working with, what kind of value they've added, what kind of positioning they've added. Basically, it lies within the realm of the 3 E's. I say, what is your education? What is your experience? And what is your expertise? Think of a resume. Think of trying to create a resume. And you have think of a resume when you was like 17, 19, 20, 21. You had no education, you had no experience, and you had no expertise. So your resume was thin. Your resume was light. The value was light. So the first couple of salaries was equally light. And it didn't happen. It didn't change until you began to acquire those 3 E's, compound interest on those 3 E's, the education, experience, and expertise. Now you've got 3 years, 4 years in a specific vertical. Now you've got a bachelor's degree in a specific vertical. Now you've gone from frontline employee to manager to, in Bobby's case, staff sergeant. Now you've got some decorations. Now you've got some tenure. Now you can have a better conversation. Hey, let's bump this up. I'm in an MBA program. Let's bump this up from a $40 an hour situation or $40,000 a year to a $60,000 a year or $60 an hour. Let's have a conversation about value and where I'm headed. The problem is a lot of people come into this space extremely shallow. And that's why, I always tell people this. Pay very close attention. Is why I always tell people this. Don't lean out of that which has been paying you for so long, so fast. Don't lean out of that which has been paying you for so long, so fast. Why? It's hard to build another resume. You got 20 years in a specific vertical. You want to become a millionaire in something you don't have 5 minutes in. And you expect me to come in, you expect me to do that for you, right? So this is the question, right? Am I a brand strategist or a magician? I promise you, I'm not a magician. I'm not a magician, and I can only work with the materials that you bring. I can only work with the materials that you bring. I can add my insights, I can add my strategies, but you have to have something. You have to have some raw materials to work with. That's why I tell people, don't jump off the ship too fast and try to become something that you're not. Don't try to jump out there so fast and let people know something about you that you don't know about yourself. Take your time, and before you can add a zero to your number, you absolutely must add a zero to you. There's no second guessing it, no way around it, no fast forwarding, and no microwave process for success. It doesn't exist. What you're looking for is ghosts. And I know it's Halloween, guys, but ghosts don't exist.
Yeesh. That's so insightful, because it's got me thinking about VCs, venture capital. And I'm not going to go too deep in this space, but everybody's talking about it. Everybody else say, if I just get funding for my project, or I'm looking for the right VC to fund my project, and I want to help y'all this morning. Like I really do. The value translation piece can be broken up into stakeholders. And I know y'all are taking notes. Y'all have been following the brand. So what I'm about to give you is a mini clinic. I'm a super mini clinic. But you've got 3 stakeholders here. You've got your team, your organization that you work with. They're one stakeholder. The second stakeholder is going to be the lending institution, whoever you're trying to get the money from, or the investors. And then the third stakeholder is going to be the marketplace itself. So when we do value translation from a finance standpoint, we're translating value to 3 different stakeholders. Your customer wants to know how you create value for them by solving their problem. Please pay attention to what I'm saying. Value translation, you have to translate the value to the marketplace. So marketing is signaling. It is a way of conveying messaging, copy. All of those things are functions of translating value to the marketplace. That's one form of translation. That's one stakeholder. The other entity that you want to translate this value to is going to be your team members. They need to know how well the business is going to generate money so that they know if they want to risk their livelihood with your organization. And then you have the investors that everybody wants to get money from. They want to know one thing. And this one thing is what we call DCF. DCF, discounted cash flows. Discounted cash flows. What discounted cash flows means is, if I give you money today, I can invest this money in a multitude of ways. If I invest this money with you, you have to be able to beat every other investment that I have. And the way you beat every other investment opportunity that I have is by providing for me a continuous stream of cash flow that other investments that require the same amount of money cannot match. So let me say that a little bit simpler, a little bit more simply for you. If you got $1,000, you can invest that $1,000 10 different ways. Now, one way is going to give you $1,100. Another way will give you $2,000. Another way will give you $3,000. Simple. I'm going to invest my money not in the way that's going to make me $2,000, not in the way that's going to make me $1,100, but I'm going to invest my money in the way that's going to make me $3,000. And I'm going to do this because that's going to give me the most return on investment. What an investor is looking for, that most business owners, professional business owners, just simply don't understand, is that they're looking for discounted cash flows. They're looking for your ability to translate value into the future in a systematic and predictable way that allows them to say, if I invest my money here, the likelihood of me getting a continual stream of cash flow over time is greater than if I invested my money anywhere else. And if you don't understand that, you're missing the boat. That's value creation and value translation, which will allow you the financial resources in that instance to create the value, capture the value, so on and so forth. So
I put something, Bobby. I put something in the chat while you were talking. Foundation with no foundation, right? People want foundation with no foundation. Like everybody wants the revenue piece, but nobody's doing the value on the front end. I tell people this all the time. How are you communicating with your market? Does the client know? Are they supposed to know? Please don't make them mind readers. Don't try to make psychics out of your clients. It doesn't work. You have to show them and tell them. And why do we go live all of the time? Why are we consistently present? Because there's a lot of noise in the marketplace, and repetition deepens the impression. So if you're not ever present or omnipresent, you're not present at all. I'll say that one more time before we go to the next break. If you're not ever present or omnipresent, then you're not present at all. The reason why I did this and what I do is help leaders to become brands and brand themselves. You train people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. I teach authenticity marketing. If people can take advantage of you, they will in your personal or professional existence.
My biggest takeaway just from day one is you are the brand. I would recommend it to anybody that's really looking to build a personal brand.
Just the brand in general has changed my life. I've grown so much since I've been a part of this.
I see myself in what he does, and I believe in it just as much as I believe in myself.
Business is like a game of chess. It's not checkers. If you don't know how to lead with a personal brand, then you're losing the battle.
Everything about Shaan's talk was fantastic. I mean, I got so much from it.
So he was really bringing fire and passion and just love and spirit to let everybody else know how do you become a leader amongst the leaders.
You hold the key in your hand. There is more power in this phone than there was that took the first man to the moon.
His energy, his dynamic information, gave a really great presentation.
I didn't ask for any money. I didn't have an offer. I had a heart to help people and meet them where they were at and find their need and fulfill it.
Shaan is the bomb.
All right. So we're gonna try to go segue, right? We're gonna segue into the next piece. Listen, I appreciate everybody trying to follow Bobby on Breakfast with the Brand on a Monday morning, right? Before the holiday, after the weekend, right? I appreciate it, guys. I know it's a lot. He actually apologized to me on the back end. I said, nah, we're going to apologize to the people, right? So listen, I hope you followed that. The easiest way to follow that, and I think we're gonna simplify it with the second piece, right? I want you to pay attention real quick to that little bottom banner. Look at the bottom banner that's scrolling at the bottom. And we're going to say, you are the brand and you are the bridge. You are the brand and you are the bridge. So let's make this really, really simple, guys. Your clients are your clients are in New York. Let's just use this because I'm, Harlem origin. Your clients are in New York. Their desire is in New Jersey. There's a lot of money in bridges. There's a lot of money in bridges. Carnegie, Steel Corporation. There's a lot of money in bridges, guys. Share this out and become a bridge. That's what I'm going to say to you. Share this out and become a bridge and watch what happens. There's a lot of money in bridges. There's a lot of money in connections. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of compensation in being a connector. There are people that you know and value that you know, and there are people who want to be connected to the value that you know and the people that you know. Therein lies your value. You are the brand and you are a bridge. This is the question. If you want the money, if you want the revenue, if you want the profitability, if you want to go into 2024 with a zero behind your number, you need to find out, who can you become the bridge for and to what? So what client population can you become the bridge for, and what is the value? What is the value? What is the desire? What is the outcome that you can become the bridge for and let them go through you to get the desired end, the same way that we go through the Holland Tunnel or the New Jersey Bridge to get from New York to New Jersey. That's the mental picture I want you to think of. Real simple. Who can you become the bridge for and to what? You are the brand. You are the bridge. You figure this out, you'll be rich for the rest of your life.
Wow. That's so powerful. And it blows my mind how the message came in from Tom Jean, looks like, as you were speaking about being a bridge. This is not English. This is not English. And it looks like it's a variation of Spanish, like from Spain or something. I tried to read it because I can read Spanish, but I cannot read all of that. But I say that to say this. Look at the bridge in real time. The bridge in real time. Like, I'm going to have to copy and paste this into Google Translate just to see exactly what it says. And I'm likely going to be blown away by what is happening in real time. But what I wrote down was toll roads and fast lanes. Toll roads and fast lanes. So I lived in California for about 6 years as I served in the Marine Corps. And those that know about the I-5 know that a lot of people lose their lives on that highway. It's crazy.
Ooh, come on, let's go.
It's crazy out there. Everybody's in such a rush. Everybody is so, I got to get where I got to go. I got to get where I got to go, that people are running each other off the roads. It's like 6 lanes. I'm not joking, 6 lanes. And they're all boom, 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 boom. And they even have this thing called splitting lanes that's legal in California, illegal in other places. And splitting lanes means if you're on a motorcycle, you can split between 2 lanes, between 2 cars. You don't have to be in an actual lane, and you can just zip through traffic like that, because the nature of the place is so everybody got to get somewhere. Do you know how much those toll roads are making by safely getting people from one place to the next? I remember talking with a gentleman. We were talking business, and he said, I want to meet you in LA or something like that. And I was like, well, where are you at? He says, I'm in San Diego. I said, all right, no worries. We can carpool up there together and we can take the 5. He said, absolutely not. He said, absolutely not. I'll pay for the toll, or I'll drive myself. What am I saying to you? I'm saying that there's people that want to go where you can get them, and there's a million ways to get there, but you could create the safest way for them. If you do your job, so to speak, you develop yourself, you leverage your expertise, education, and experience, and you cultivate a lane that's uniquely designed for them to travel safely with their family and with their ambition and aspirations, they will pay you top dollar. They'll get the fast pass. They'll be on subscription. They'll say, anytime I travel on these byways and highways, I'm coming through you. And that's the power of being a bridge with a brand.
Let me add a little bit more, Bobby. Watch this, because this might challenge your imagination. But let me just give you something about the power of imagination, right? A bridge came from imagination. Before there was the bridge, there was the imagination. Before there was the brand, there was the imagination. So I want you to have an imagination and creativity while I talk this talk to you. You might have to go get some bulletproof coffee, right? Shout out to Dave Asprey. You might need to go get some bulletproof coffee for this one, right? They got some beautiful different ingredients in there to help you kind of metabolize what I'm about to pass your way. Okay. So you may not have the imagination to say, okay, the Washington Bridge, the George Washington Bridge from New York to New Jersey, the Holland Tunnel under the water might be a bit much for you to surmise. I know it's Monday morning. Okay. You might not have the bulletproof piece. You just might have Senka, Folgers. Okay, no problem. You might not have passed by Starbucks yet. No problem. Look like Bobby Googling bulletproof right now, about to grab him some. Let me tell you something, guys. You don't have to be the George Washington Bridge. You don't have to be the George Washington Bridge. Why? Because there's a Queens Bridge, Brooklyn Bridge, and Manhattan Bridge too. So what do I mean? Everybody's not trying to go to New Jersey from New York. Everybody's not trying to go 10,000 miles away. Some people just want to move next door. Some people just want to get next door. So who can you help? And I have this problem all the time when I'm speaking to clients, because some of them, they have such low self-confidence, Bobby. They're like, well, I don't have the 3 master's degrees. I don't have the 3 books, Shaan. And I don't have the ability to speak from the top of my head because I'm not that experienced. I say, no problem. You can go, if you're a 7, you can coach a 6. If you're a 4, you can be a bridge to a 3. If you're an 8, you can be a bridge to a 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Listen, if you're just starting and you're a 1, you can be a bridge to a 0. If you're a 3, you can help. You can be the bridge. You can help someone get where they're trying. Help somebody cross the street, for God's sakes. That's what I'm saying. Help somebody. One of the best friends that I ever had in my life, Hector got me my first job. Listen to this. One of the best friends I ever had in my life got me my first job. His name was Hector. It's Lower East Side of Harlem. I saw an old lady. Now, this is me, 14, 15. I was probably 15. This is me, 15 years old. And I'm running the streets and I'm thinking I'm everything, I'm thinking I'm a mercenary, right? So I'm thugged out, right? I'm thugged out. I'm all in my head, right? Watch this, though. I see an old lady. And when I say old, I mean old. And she had the kind of bags, the heaviness in her bags almost like put cuts and grooves into her hands. She was super old, very dark skinned, beautiful old woman. And she's holding the bags and the bags are heavy. And I stopped. As wherever, I was with a pack, of course, and I'm with a bunch of people and we just running and gunning. But I noticed her and I said, hold on. This isn't right. See, I was raised right. Even though I went wrong. I went left somewhere, but I was raised right, Bobby. So I see this woman and I'm like, hold on, guys. I'm going to catch up with you guys later. And I helped the woman cross the street. Now, she was already in the street. So I ran out to the street and helped her with the bags, took the bags from her, walked her. If she was slow, she was moving slowly, but I walked her across the street. Then I walked her to her building. Then I walked up to the 6th floor for her. That she was about 4 blocks away. Days later, not immediately, days later, big dude come to me like, yo, man. And I'm like, what's going on? He stops while he's passing my stoop. I'm like, what's going on? I'm thinking there might be an altercation because those things happen more than peaceful conversation. So I'm like, what's going on? And he said, yo, you stopped and helped the lady about 4 days ago. And I said, I very well may have. He said, no, you did. I'm certain that you did. The woman that you helped was my grandmother. If you ever need anything, if anyone ever says, and I'm from the west side of Harlem, I'm new on the east side. So altercations could take place. He said, if you ever need anything, if anybody ever says anything to you, I work in the barber shop right there. My name is Hector. If you ever need anything, you let me know, because that woman that you helped 4 blocks away and up to the 6th floor, that was my grandmother. And people don't do that anymore. I greatly appreciate it. After that, he got me my first job in Woolworths downtown. Was it Woolworths? Kmart downtown 34th Street. No game, no joke at all. If you can't be a bridge for somebody, if you can't help somebody go from the 1st floor to the 19th floor, help somebody across the street. And do it for free. Stop looking for money on your first 5 situations. Do it for free. It just might save your life and your business.
That's all I can do is embrace that for a moment. Just embrace that for a moment, because that was a lesson that you taught me that transformed my revenue. It transformed my revenue, and you taught it to me similarly, but you used the number system. You said, if you're a 6, help a 5. If you're a 5, help a 4. If you're a 4, help a 3. And you also said, if you are a 6, you can probably help the 5s and the 4s, but be weary of, so to speak, helping the 3s. But you just like laid it out for, like, if you're branding and you're building and you're doing all these different things, like the steps that you can do. So one thing that I started to think about was the various bridges of life. Like your parents are a bridge at one point. Your college and education is a bridge at another point, and your spouse may be a bridge at another point.
Ooh.
And I think when we really, be human about business, like business is a people thing. It's like a contact sport, if you will. There's no contact sports without contacting with other people. So it's
right.
Like you gotta be human about certain things. And I think that this example, when rightly understood, says, how can I show up as authentically as possible and help as many people as possible by helping myself? And I want to be very delicate with what I'm about to say here. But I wrote something down yesterday, and what I wrote down was people like you more when you like yourself. People like you more when you like yourself. And a lot of us, don't like ourselves. We don't like ourselves because we lack the discipline to do the things that we want to do. So because we don't do the things that we want to do, we don't like the person that we are, and we feel unable to change that person. So now we project, and we have little man and little woman syndrome, and we get around people such as prospects, potential clients, and we treat them like they're less than, as we try to validate our own superficial intelligence or insights, and then try to sell them our injured egos. Like, people aren't buying your injuries, but they will pay top dollar for you to expose your healing. I remember Coach sharing a story when he got into a brawl and he was putting cocoa butter on a cut, and his mom was like, "Hey, son, that's a badge of honor," and he was trying to kind of get rid of it. And what it made me think about in this instance is, sometimes people will connect with you more if they see that you've been to war. Because everybody's been. But if you look like you've never gone, people might start to feel like you never been. And if you never been, they're going to start to feel like you can't teach them nothing. Like, who's going to learn from somebody that's never been where they've been? They want to learn from someone that's been where they've been. So moral of the story for me, at least, is be a bridge. And one of the best ways to be a bridge is to embrace your own healing journey. And another way to serve your community and create value for the marketplace is be vulnerable about your journey, be vulnerable in your healing. When I was a 3, I helped the 2s. As I healed and became a 4, I helped the 3s. As I healed and became a 6, I exposed my healing. And through this process, what I was also exposing was how you could get 400% revenue growth consecutively year after year after year by healing, growing, and providing massive value to your marketplace.
let's draw a line under that. Deshaun Smith, I see you, brother. Phenomenal morning. Right. Let me just acknowledge the people that are present on the call, active in the chat. Guys, if you're present, get active on the chat. If you're watching this later, hashtag replay. I know I see Jordan from DC, Deshaun Smith, Travis the Critic, Shade from Brooklyn. You know, I see you guys, right? And if you're watching this at a later time, hashtag replay, hashtag squad. Let me know who you are. Let me know where you're calling in from, and we'll shout you out on a later segment. If you have any questions, support at Shaan Rais. Attention, Breakfast with the Brand. If you have any questions, if you want us to answer a question live on the air, we will. Just send the question to support at Shaan Rais and attention, Breakfast with the Brand. And we'll answer your question live. You know, Bobby, I'm getting a lot of feedback on, you know, you setting the forest on fire early in the morning. You know, Bobby setting the forest on fire off rip, right? Hit rock, powerful talk, powerful value. You know, listen, guys, the reason why we're doing this is because we want to help you add a zero. The more of us that there are that are successful, the better of a conversation we can have. Just so you're aware. Like, we don't come on here all the time talking about, you know, buy this or hire us to do that or hire Shaan Rais to do that or reach out to Bobby Jackson for X. We just want to give you value. We just want to help you. Because honestly, like, somebody needs to without a price up front. Like, I've always told people, I will never stop telling people, we started with no offer, just a heart to help the people. I went live on Facebook, so I got to give it back. Like, I went live on Facebook. I gave some time to Facebook. Facebook gave me a changed life. Changed life, changed business, family and friends, like unbelievable transformation. And then I became a bridge for other people to have the same phenomenal transformation. And just to draw a line under what you just said, Bobby, a specific part, becoming a bridge for other people has done what for you economically and as far as revenue and profit in your business and growth?
Oh, yeah. 400% revenue increase year after year on top of having a job, so to speak. So like, I really want to make that distinction very quickly, because I didn't know I was a six-figure earner until they told me. So I was getting ready to transition out of the military, and I was looking for different resources that I could leverage to make the transition as easy as possible and as smooth as possible. And when I went to see what different things I qualified for, they said, you make too much money. I said, what? The Marine Corps is only paying me X amount of dollars, and then when you take away the entitlements, it's not there. They said, Mr. Jackson, you own a business, don't you? I said, yeah. They said, when the last time you looked at your numbers? I was like, I mean, I really don't. I'm out here, I'm grinding. They said, you probably should look at those. You should probably go look at those and file your taxes while you're at it. I took a look at those numbers, guys, and I was at six figures. And as the business built and I became more and more of a bridge, it just kept going and going and going. So I did want to make that distinction, because when you do it right and you're really serving the people, sometimes your success will sneak up on you.
So again, guys, that looks like 400% revenue increase year after year after year. Yeah. And more this year than last year consistently. What I'm saying is not hyperbole. It's not meant to hype you up. It's not meant to inspire. I hope it inspires you, but it's more important that I inform you credulously with evidence-based strategies that will help you build your business and build your life. It's not theoretical, it's applicable. It's not theoretical, and it's happening in real time as we speak. Those numbers are going up regularly, and I'm busy. I'm tired of talking about my numbers now. I'm speaking about other people's numbers now. That's what being a bridge is. We ain't got to talk about the Shaan Rais revenue growth. We can talk about the Bobby Jackson revenue growth.
Yeah.
I just want you to take that to the bank for a moment. I don't talk theory. I don't talk hyperbole. I don't talk opinion. Nothing I talk is anything but evidence-based.
During the G Circle retreat in Atlanta, I had the pleasure and the honor of listening to Mr. Shaan Rais. He will not only impact your organization, but he will elevate your team to another level.
When you change you, when you put you into the equation, the whole system is different. I guarantee you, you got the right thing. You are the right person. If you can present yourself in the best way possible, there's no negotiation.
His energy is infectious, and I have so many takeaways from the presentation that I can't wait to get started and implement them today to see the result.
It's very important that you know yourself to the highest degree possible, because it's through knowing ourselves that we're able to know other people. You are the most important person in the room, and the better that you know yourself, the better that you're able to communicate to others. So you're not only playing the game knowing who you are, but you're also playing the game knowing who everyone else is, so that you're not playing blind.
He's extremely engaging with people. He has a fantastic smile, and he's just very high energy person.
This is called leadership development. So we have to be independently knowledgeable and considerate to know who we are, so we can more effectively know who other people are. As the leader, it's your responsibility to allocate resources in the right places. If you don't know how to communicate effectively, you're losing the battle.
Man, you know, being on this platform, guys, has been one of the most exciting experiences that I've had in a long time. And I want to talk a little bit about this to you all one-on-one, because it didn't always start out like this. And some of us are being the bridge for other people, and some of us are looking for the bridge. Like, we're looking for our bridge. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about how I found this bridge, and then how this bridge helped me become a bridge. And then a little bit about the nuances, because sometimes we can get so caught up in where we're trying to go that we forget to enjoy the ride. So I remember it was about 2020, 2021. And yeah, 2020. My wife and I were roughly newlywed, so to speak. We had been married for about a year, year and a half, 2 years now. And we had the first kiddo on the way. And during this time, I was in a tight spot. I was in a tight spot because I knew that the Marine Corps was only going to be able to provide a standard of living, a quality of life for my family that was, say, a 5 or a 6 compared to what my 10 was. I was like, I don't see how this military career is going to enable me to provide the life for my family that I want to give them. So I had a dilemma, because I was already 9 years in. So 9 years in, you're only 11 years from retirement. What are you going to do? Are you going to retire and not invest the next 11 years in building the business, or building a business, building a bridge for your family to go from middle class to upper, higher class, high class, right? What are you going to do? And I was watching a gentleman by the name of Shaan Rais. And as I was watching, he was going live continuously, religiously, dare I say. And it was a 4 a.m. alien call that I decided to follow. And when I was watching, I was just following. And I was like, he's speaking to me. So when you're being a bridge, I want you to know that you're talking just like, let me put it to you like this. They might not be on the bridge yet, but that doesn't mean they're not trying to get there. In other words, your ideal client, the people that are looking to pay you, might be looking for a bridge, even though they're in no position to get on the bridge just yet. So one, you want to be present. You want to be present. And then what happened next for me with this experience was Shaan continued to go live. As he went live, I came on to the inside. Once I came on the inside, I had a culture shock. The culture shock was, wow, this individual is the real deal. Next piece of being a bridge is be a sturdy one. When someone looks at the Golden Gate Bridge, they know that the Golden Gate Bridge, or at least they have confidence that it's going to be able to hold and support them no matter how many cars are on that road at one time. And then as more and more semis and more cars, they go over this bridge, it's sturdy. So what I learned as I went into the brand culture was that what I saw from a distance was exactly what was required in the present. And it was sturdy. So as I did that, I went through the process and I started to get where I was trying to go. Like I was at the beginning of the bridge, right? And I'm riding. So the bridge for me was about 3 years long, and I'm still on the bridge. I'm still not fully where I want to be, but you never really are. You should always be striving for more. And for me, as I got onto the bridge and I started riding, I started to see interesting things unfold. My car started to rattle. It started to bump. It started to shake. Have you ever been on a bridge? And when you're on the bridge, the material that the bridge is made of starts to cause the car to behave differently. See, when you're going over a bridge and you're going over treacherous waters and you're driving over material that the car that you are used to driving isn't used to driving on, like all of those things matter. So what I started to realize is what we call gaps. You want to be a bridge that is unique, and you're unique by simply branding you. So when you brand you properly and people come in contact with something that is authentic and they themselves are inauthentic, what will happen is it will expose gaps. Is the business inauthentic? Is the personality inauthentic? Is the reason that they're doing what they're doing inauthentic? So when you do this right, when you are the brand and the brand is the bridge, you really become a mirror. And that's what we're all looking for. We're all looking to see ourselves as accurately as possible. So that's what started to happen as I was on the bridge. As I was on the bridge, I'm riding, and then things happen in my marriage. And then things happen in my career. And then things happen within me. And then things continue to happen. And I say, hold up, wait a minute. Am I the person? Of course you are. And then it's like, okay, what do I do now? And that's when the bridge has signs. It says, veer left if you're planning to get off on this place. Veer right if you're planning to go this way. Stay in this lane if you want to go this way. You want to be in an environment that's not just a bridge that's going to get you from A to B, but that's going to direct you along the way. And that's the type of bridge you want to be. You want to be the type of bridge that says, hey, when you invest here, when you drive your car over this bridge, your vision, your dreams, your purpose, when you engage with this bridge, this brand, we're not just going to get you across the water, but we're going to direct you every step of the way. We're going to ensure our environment is clean and sturdy. We're going to also ensure that as you cross, you have every reason to come back this way. So what does that mean for you as you're building your bridge? It means that be cognizant of the experience that every passenger is going to have, right? So as we prepare for our last break and we get ready to close it down this morning, Breakfast with the Brand is always a phenomenal opportunity. I want you guys to know that right now, I hope to be acting as a signal for you, as a arrow pointing right. So if you are a professional business owner or a serious entrepreneur, you're driving your way through obstacle, trial, tribulation, you're trying to go from certified to monetized, you're really trying to figure out how to translate this education and expertise and experience into income, do two things. Get on a bridge and be a bridge. Get on the bridge taking you to where you need to go, and be a bridge that helps other people get to where they want to go. And I can guarantee you that you will be finding yourself in this very situation in some shape, form, or capacity where you are saying, this is the bridge I took, this is where it took me, and I'm happy that I took it.
The reason why I did this and what I do is help leaders to become brands and brand themselves. You train people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. I teach authenticity marketing. If people can take advantage of you, they will in your personal or professional existence.
My biggest takeaways just from day one is you are the brand. I would recommend it to anybody that's really looking to build a personal brand.
Just the brand in general has changed my life. I've grown so much since I've been a part of this.
I see myself in what he does, and I believe in it just as much as I believe in myself.
Wow, brother. Wow. Such beautiful words, guys. Listen, I promise you, when people talk about the brand and what we've been able to do and myself personally and characteristics, I promise you, I listen from a distance and I wonder who they're talking about. I listen from a distance. I say, wow, that guy sounds pretty good, man. Pretty good, right? Let me just say this before we close. And oh yes, we do have another topic, but we're going to have to go into that tomorrow. So just to give you a glimpse of what it looks like, tomorrow we'll be talking about Mike. Everybody wants to be like Mike. Tomorrow we'll talk about making yourself known, how to make yourself known, how to introduce yourself. For some of you, how to reintroduce yourself. Right, we're going to help you to introduce yourself to new people that have never met you, and we're going to help you to reintroduce yourself to people that have met you and have the wrong misunderstanding. Right, they have a misunderstanding. They have a prior interpretation of a prior iteration of you, so they undervalue you and they underestimate you, and they try to negotiate value and negotiate prices. We're going to help you shift those things. And one of the ways that I'm going to just evidence real quick how we're going to shift those things is because there was a time when I was not as valuable as I am now. There was a time when everybody that you watch, everybody that you follow, everybody whose books you read, and we have 3 of them, right? Everybody who has a YouTube channel that you watch, follow, listen to, that motivates you, inspires you, and teaches you. There was a time when we were all not as valuable as you think we are. So let me say this. There are a lot of people that don't value you accurately and don't give you the proper value that you have. And that person, that guilty party that undervalues you, very well may be yourself. That person that undervalues you very well may be yourself. We are guilty. We are all guilty. Even myself now, I am guilty of undervaluing myself at this point. So when I say add a 0, you might want to add 3, 4, or 5 zeros to yourself. Bobby Jackson, I think you kind of shut the show down. You kind of closed the show earlier, so I'm just going to go ahead and let the outro play. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed this. #replay squad. If you're watching this at a later time, be a bridge today. Be a bridge for somebody. If you're a 5, help a 4, help a 3, and really challenge yourself and try to help a 6. Try to help a 7. You might find out that you're an 8, and you just might find out that you're a 9. Let's grow.